What's going on, Pisces? How are you doing? Hope you're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be a reading for the week of May 15th to the 21st, 2023. So in this reading, Pisces, we're going to take a look at your overall general energy for this upcoming week. We're going to take a look at some things you do not see coming. We're also going to get some advice from your angels and spirit guides and so much more regarding the 15th through the 21st of May, Pisces. Now, keep in mind that this week, the 15th to the 21st, is going to run right through the new moon on the 19th of May. So please keep that in mind as we go through this reading. But before we begin this reading, as always, I do want to take a moment to let you know that you are very welcome here in this space with me as we go through this reading. And I really do appreciate you in advance for taking the time to check this reading out. Now, if this general reading happens to resonate with you, Pisces, definitely smash that like button. Subscribe down below if you have not already for future updates. Would also really appreciate that over here. But without further ado, let's go ahead and pull the energy and see what wants to come through for you for May 15th to the 21st, 2023, Pisces. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and the spirit guides who are overseeing this act of divination for the sign of Pisces. Man, the accuracy of that Ace of Swords seems to be one of those cards that listeners just get shocked by. Hold up, Pisces. Let's go ahead and see what we got. Whoa, we got a lot of abundance. Abundance, pundits. Yes, so let's go ahead, before we get into the tarot, let's go ahead and start this reading off, Pisces, with some pre-shuffled oracle cards from the universe. What frequency do you need more of? What frequency do you need to embody this week for your highest good from the universe? Let's see what we got. We had four cards that came out instead of 3 today, but we have self-trust. So trust yourself above all else, Pisces. There's a little voice in your head that knows what you got to do. Like, I can't tell you when to move. Okay, I can't tell you what to do. You have to know. And so there's something about disregarding all external advice. I'm going to be honest. So besides this reading. And what I mean by that is, listen, just trust yourself, Pisces, above all else. I'm here to give you pointers. Don't get too attached to the words, just like with anyone else. You know what? No one's coming to save you. No one can figure out the puzzle piece to your life. And the analogy that I would give you is, even if you go to a professional astrologer who gives you a birth chart reading, your own process is meant to interpret it the way that you're meant to interpret it. Like, there's something about that, Pisces. What else we got? We have self-trust, we have change. So trust yourself to change what you deem necessary that you need to change at this time. You have self-trust, change, and you have 2 more that you need this week. You also have non-attachment. So don't be afraid to make a hard break from the past, and don't be afraid of results. Someone needs to hear this message. I don't know who needs to hear it, but you don't get the respect of people for winning or for succeeding, at least for the real ones. The real ones will respect you for showing up and giving it all you got. There's a certain beauty in the struggle that everyone can honor, okay? It's the people who go halfway who are attached as well. There's something about non-attachment here, Pisces, that's beautiful. Even if you fail, there's a certain beauty in that when you put your heart on the line. That will get you the respect of your peers. Success will get you a kind of surface level fake respect of your peers. But giving it all you got, showing up, making that walk, whatever that walk is for you. Just show up and be non-attached to the outcome. And just all you can say at the end, like what I want you to tell yourself like this week is like, I did my best. Maybe I didn't get it right. Maybe I'm in the process and like, don't worry about getting it right. Focus on not being attached. Okay, like do your best. That's how you gain the respect. Like you have my respect if you give it your all. You know what I'm saying? You also have productivity. So self-trust, change, non-attachment, and productivity. So I mean, this is a clear message of just taking some sort of action that you know you need to take. That a lot of you are I'm gonna be honest, a lot of you are crapping your pants about some change that you know you need to make. A lot of you know that there's an illusion holding you back, by the way, but the illusion is losing its grip on you this week. For a lot of you, this has to do with a career change, by the way, for a lot of you. Or this has to do with some sort of thing. Now, non-attachment and productivity. Whatever you're creating, whatever you're doing, you have to like have the attitude. I think I said this to you in your yearly reading, like create something, even if it's horrible, just have the attitude of like, you just like, you literally wiped like shit on the wall and someone comes into your art museum and they're like, oh my God, it smells like shit in here. What is going on? And you're like, the crazy artist, like, isn't it beautiful? And they're like, call the cops, man. But that like, there's something about just complete, utter non-attachment here will serve you really well. Now, when it comes to your opportunity this week, you have the King of Pentacles here. So that's what I'm talking about. Abundance, abundance, abundance. For a lot of you, there's going to be there's going to be a major opportunity to increase your finances. Some of you could get a promotion this week at your work, or some of you could really be there's an opportunity to step up your finance game no matter how you cut it. Okay, the King of Pentacles is once again someone who, what I'm getting is basically having an abundant mindset rather than a lack mentality. Are you in, most people that are walking the planet are in coping. Not many people are in thriving. And thriving is not about, once again, the external results. Do I win or do I lose? No. Thriving is to say we live to fight another day. We live to create another day. We live to try again. And the King of Pentacles is really coming through, Pisces, here in your opportunity. First of all, as just seeing the world through the lens of abundance. And for those of you, it really shouldn't be a problem, you know. It really shouldn't be a problem because you got that Jupiter energy, which is, don't be afraid to be a little bit of a grandiose leader. This, like, there's something about you being grandiose, not in a complete ego way, but in a subtle way that will get you far. Now, the final thing here, Pisces, is there's something coming through about relative wealth versus absolute wealth, and this is what I really want you to pay attention to, because it's really important. Now, when we look at like a king, right, the King of Pentacles, let's compare my life to a king in the 1300s. When we talk about absolute wealth, every single one of us is more wealthy than a king. Every single one of us is more wealthy than a king, or is more abundant than a king in the 1300s, right? The king was limited. He didn't have technology back then. And so I want you to wake up every day and be like, my absolute wealth, my abundance of opportunities, we are living in a golden age if you're listening to this reading. And your absolute, just stay with me because it's coming through. It's a little bit murky here. Now, relative wealth is what keeps all of us stuck. See, stop caring about, there's a difference between absolute wealth and relative wealth. Relative wealth is you're comparing what you have to people around you. Oh, I'm only happy if I have more abundance than my neighbor, than the autistic mystic, than this person. It's relative wealth. Absolute wealth is reminding yourself that all of you listening have an iPhone. That means that all of you are much more abundant than a king was in the 1300s. Any person can go on Pornhub right now and see more naked women or men than a king could in his entire lifetime. You can go see more naked, you can go see crazy sexual things if that's what you want, because I'm talking about absolute abundance. you can go and type that in and see more than a whole king did in his entire lifetime. You can do that in 15 minutes. So who's more wealthy? The king in the 1300s or you right now? It's you right now. It's you right now. So stop doing this thing about relative wealth. It's about absolute wealth. Everyone is abundant, but your ego is only going to say, well, I'm only happy if I'm more wealthy or if I have more abundance than Susie, my third grade arch nemesis. Stop with the relative wealth, please. Absolute wealth. If you have, you know what's the first form of abundance, Pisces, is breath. If I told you this, if I told you, I'll give you $10 million right now, Pisces, under one condition. I will give you $10 million right now under one condition. What's the condition, Mystic? That you can't wake up tomorrow and that you die tomorrow morning. Would you take it? No, obviously you wouldn't take it. And what that means is when you wake up tomorrow, waking up tomorrow is worth more than $10 million. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. And then think about what's holding you back from doing this, what you want to do. Okay? Your challenge is the Temperance card. The Temperance card has to do with balance, moderation, smoothing things out, and tempering something means like altering it. And so there could be, once again, building on the theme from the monthly reading, a theme of sobriety. There could be a theme of a lot of you I'm getting this focusing on your emotional health. How do you focus on your emotional health? Pay attention to absolute wealth rather than relative wealth. You want to know how you're emotionally messed up is comparing yourself to other people. Relative. No, absolute. We're all richer than a king was. We're all like, and for you, like, I don't know, Temperance card is your challenge. We're not even, how are we going to make this reading? Now, when it comes to your overall general energy, Pisces, for the 15th to the 21st, you have the 7 of Cups, you have the Ace of Swords, and you also have the 5 of Pentacles here. This is your overall general energy for this week. What this tells me is you're going to be finally, once again, cutting through an illusion about some sort of lack mentality. There's 2 analogies that I already gave you that you're going to be dealing with here in some sort of way. It's going to manifest in the physical reality different for different Pisces, but the analogies here are what? The first thing is the relative versus the absolute wealth thing. You're going to say, I'm wealthy just because I can breathe. I can wake up tomorrow. That's worth more than $10 million. So let's go for our goals. The second part of that is the first thing that I mentioned, Pisces, about, it actually just slipped out of my mind, but there was an analogy that I gave you in the beginning of this reading, separate from the king analogy. There was an analogy that I gave you about, what it was the heart. People, you don't get respect from people for winning or failing. You get respect from people for giving it your all. And that confidence is going to help you break through some sort of illusion when it comes to you feeling like, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. Now, when it comes to what you don't see coming, you have the 2 of Pentacles, you have the 5 of Swords, and you also have the Ace of Wands here in what you don't see coming. So with this being said, Pisces, there may be a period where you're really unsure about this new beginning, or you're balancing a lot of things out. Some of you are going to be, once again, working a job. Some of you, you're going to get a promotion at a job that you were thinking about leaving this week. I'm actually getting that. For some of you, this is a very big conundrum this week. You're going to be promoted and this is almost a deeper test from the universe for some of you. Or for others of you, you can do both at the same time and you can get very abundant. But then some of you are going to drop out of that whole thing because you're going to realize absolute wealth versus relative wealth. Why am I killing myself working 2 jobs when tomorrow's already worth more than $10 million? What I'm trying to tell you here is, Pisces, there's a new beginning that your whole mentality of whatever it is that you personally want to create at this time is going to be completely different following the 19th of May. Now, this reading has 3 aces, which is extremely abundant. So in what you don't see coming, the 2 of Pentacles, the 5 of Swords, and the Ace of Wands. Some of you, let's just go to your advice and wait till the clarification. When it comes to your advice from Spirit here, Pisces, your advice from Spirit is the Justice card, the Ace of Pentacles, and the 7 of Pentacles here when it comes to your advice from Spirit. Once again, the only way that you're going to there's 3 aces in your overall general energy, Ace of Swords. And what you don't see coming, Ace of Wands. In your advice, Ace of Pentacles. Spirit is telling you right here, the only way that you're going to bring balance into your life is by having this new beginning. Once again, Pisces, you don't need to succeed. You just need to show up. And there's a certain beauty in that. There's a certain beauty in struggling for many years. Because here's the thing that I'm now getting. 7 of Pentacles is in your advice. You need to water this dream. The day that you plant the seed is not the same day that you eat the fruit. But more than that, Pisces, what I'm getting from this reading is that if everything was giving, if you could instantaneously manifest your desire, if you could instantaneously work through all your blocks and fears and get what you want, it would mean nothing to you. What happens to little children when you give them everything they want? What happens to little kids when you give them everything they want? They become little a-holes. They don't appreciate anything. And what I'm going to tell you right now, thank you. The universe doesn't give you something when you want it. The universe gives you something when you're ready for it. And many of you are postponing the process of becoming ready. And you got to stay ready so that you don't have to get ready. And what I'm getting from this, Pisces, is there's beauty in the struggle. There is a purity in the struggle of devotion, of devoting yourself to something bigger than yourself, or devoting yourself to improving your mind state, devoting yourself to stop comparing yourself, devoting yourself to get into the present moment. There's something so magical about this week for you, Pisces, about this new beginning. And it doesn't surprise me that this new moon on the 19th is in Taurus, and you have all this abundance. Your opportunity is the King of Pentacles. I feel that I don't really, you know what, I was going to bounce. We're not going to bounce. We're going to go deeper into this reading. Let's do a few cards. We're going to do a reverse order. Why is the Ace of Pentacles here in your advice? A lot of you dealing with health issues, by the way, a lot of it is mental, or a lot of it, you're going to heal this by getting more active. You're going to heal this by getting out of your own head. And you're going to heal this by not worrying about armchair quarterbacks. Remember, Pisces, the person on the field is the only person that has anything to say. People will always judge and criticize you from afar, but they're not in your shoes. They're not even in the arena. They're not sweating. They're not crying. They're not putting in the work, so they can't judge you. And they're weak, but they try to be strong. They try to pretend like they're strong, but they're weak. Ugh, why is Pisces doing that? They should get their 401k. They're a little stupid a-hole. No. You are Mr. 401k. There's nothing wrong with that. Why is the Ace of Cups? Well, the only missing ace is the Ace of Cups, and I said that. Because that is included. So a lot of you, I'm getting what is the one ace? Now, here's a little secret for everyone who wants to be a great tarot reader out there. One of the best ways that you can be a great tarot reader is looking at what is not there. So if there's 3 aces in this reading, there's 1 ace missing. What's the 1 ace that's missing is the Ace of Cups. And the Temperance card, water, you literally have these little cups here as your challenge. So what this tells me is you need to find some sort of emotional incentive this week in order to move forward with your chosen desire, with your chosen goal. You need to find some sort of emotional linking dopamine to your goals would be very valuable. Right now, a lot of you are getting cheap dopamine. You're getting dopamine from beer. You're getting dopamine from technology. You're getting dopamine from escapism. You're getting dopamine from visualizing your goals instead of taking action on them. And that needs to change. You need to find, because Spirit is watching you. You think cameras record you? You think cameras are the only thing that's recording? No, the whole universe is recording you the whole time. And it's almost like there's these beings around you who are waiting to see your devotion, Pisces. Now, this is also what I'm getting. And so, see, sometimes I don't need the cards, and that's okay. I need to become comfortable with that. When it comes to you dissolving this illusion, right, what's in your overall general energy, Pisces, right? You have the 7 of Cups, you have the Ace of Swords, and you have the 5 of Pentacles, overall general energy. What this is telling me it's hitting me this point. I just told you the best way to become a great tarot reader is to look at what's not in the reading to determine what's going on. In the same way, in order to become a master of life, you don't need to understand exactly who you are. You need to understand exactly who you are not. Okay, so it's like your identity. You need to know who you're not. And the truth is, you're not someone. The truth of who you're the real truth of you, Pisces, the real truth beyond that of just the surface level ego, knows that you are absolutely wealthy, knows that you deserve love and respect from other people whether you succeed or fail, knows that you deserve love for showing up. And you know exactly who you're not. You know so you're being revealed, like you're being shown who you're not will give you more clarity than who you think you are. Understand who you're not. I'm not this person. For me, to give you an illustration of this, is like, I'm certainly not one of those gym bros that just goes to the gym every day. I just do push-ups all day. I don't want to be in the gym pumping, and maybe I'll do that, but to give you a more concrete example of this, is like, I know that I'm not someone who's going to sugarcoat tarot readings. I know I'm going to be real. I know maybe I'll be a little bit perceived in a certain way because of that, but I know who I'm not. And knowing who you're not will give you more clarity than knowing who you are sometimes. I know that I said I was going to clarify, but I really feel like if you let this sink in, it's all you need. So that being said, I'm going to conclude this reading. I'll talk to you next time, Pisces. Much